Hello, and welcome to the Oops Origami Livestream for June 20th, 2022. Thank you for joining us. We
Hello, hello.
took last week off because, well, I was busy, and then we didn't get around to doing it, so it just happens.
Yeah. Brian was busy. I was lazy.
I'm pretty sure I was asleep.
That's pretty common. Hey, naps are nice.
Yes, they are. I like them.
So, how's everybody's last 2 weeks been?
Good.
Busy,
You know,
but
yeah.
getting stuff done.
Oh, yeah, stupid busy.
Yes.
Not enough hours in the week.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh. Anything
So-
new for anyone?
Oh, Microsoft training coming up.
Oh.
When you spend enough money with Microsoft, they give you things for free.
Okay.
They may not be worth as much as they want you to believe they are, but they're still free. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's actually one of the things for lack of something better to talk about, was something I wanted to talk about was not necessarily training. I mean, that's part of it, but all the other things you also do to kind of keep your skills honed and learn new ones, between vendor training and just labs or reading or watching videos or whatever. Just because that's one of those things I continuously do. I don't know. What do you guys do to stay on top of your game? Or at least Chris, because Rick's old.
Generally, I drink. I drink a lot.
Thank you for that,
I
Brian.
find that makes me a really effective IT professional. No, so about midway into my career, I developed this policy that I ignored any buzzword or new thing that came up until I heard it at least twice. And then I'd research it a bit and get familiar with it and decide if I need to look into it further.
At least twice from a different circle of people.
Right. Like if somebody's got a new buzzword this week, like that counts as one. Interestingly enough, if it came from management, it like counted as like 0.75.
Yeah.
Because I'm not interested in chasing whatever you heard in the seat next to you on the airplane. Right.
Oh, you have the CIO edition of the buzzword of the day calendar. That's awesome.
Nice.
If you can still remember that word in a week, you come back to me and we'll talk about it.
I will say this: if it's not a CIO coming to me with a buzzword and they remember it in a day, like at least you're excited about it. Like excitement from non-IT management translates into funding. So let's do that.
True. As long as it's funding towards something worth funding.
I mean, I can make a toilet seat cost $10,000 just as well as the U.S. government can. So
No, because you'd feel bad about it.
I would, but I can do it just as well as they can.
So early on in my career, if it interested me, I would just do it. I'd get hardware or books or whatever and just sort it out and figure out how to do it. I do that less and less these days, but I do read almost incessantly about stuff that I hear coming out. And yeah, in buzzwords, I hear buzzwords all the time. Brian knows the environment that I'm in and the people that I work with, that there's a lot of buzzwords getting tossed about. And some of them I take up and some of them I don't. Because if something sounds ridiculous, I don't spend my time on it. Now, some I've lost out a couple of times because sometimes what to me is ridiculous actually makes sense to a lot more people. So,
I mean, the thing that you said there, I think, is the key, and I think a lot of the younger crowd really misses out on this. Reading. text is shockingly dense, right? Like, particularly in the modern video environment, the presentation style of videos, even like what's meant to be really technical, really dense videos, is so thin. Like, give me 5 minutes of text over 5 minutes of video every time.
Well, 5 minutes of video is a paragraph and a half of text. That's the
Right.
problem.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And-
if I click on a news story and it's a video, I close it. I don't want to watch a video. Give me the text. I can parse that a lot quicker and more accurately. The same goes for anything tech related. I'd rather read it.
Right.
Or do it.
Yes, or do it.
Right. But I mean, I've noticed it a lot of times in people that are much younger than me. I suggested 5 books for some of my coworkers, junior coworkers, to go out and buy, and one of them was DNS and Bind by the Nutshell, Cricket Lou, and those guys. And then
Right.
was it
A great book.
It's an excellent book. It's a super dry read. I mean, you'll have to tape your eyelids open, but it's a terrific book. What is it? Networking from the Top Down. I think that's what it's called. It's another really good resource for book. And they were like, "Yeah, okay, thanks, that's cool," and not interested in reading a book, which I just don't get, because like what you say, Brian, you get a lot more out of that paragraph and a half, 2 paragraphs, rather than spending 5 minutes on video. I can read 2 paragraphs in less than a minute, or I'll reread it to make sure I understand it. But so it's much more efficient in my mind. Unless it's a how-to video where somebody's going step by step. This is how you do this. This is whatever. And the video, the guy or girl that's producing it, take the time to explain why you're doing what you're doing and what led to that. So
the only reason I'd really want a technical video is if it was mostly just opinion conversation about it.
Mm-hmm.
A video showing me how to do something is nearly useless to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'd rather have
the paragraph. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like,
if it's
give me
somebody
a
like
good
talking
graphic.
about something, yeah, or trying to explain kind of how something works, if it's something that's kind of abstract.
Mm-hmm.
But like a how-to video, I'd prefer. I'll just try and do it myself, and if I get stuck on something, I'll Google it and then figure it out. That's how I learn, is by doing it.
There's a couple of good content creators on YouTube. I can't remember the guy's name but he's a Cisco guy, and every now and then he throws out a Cisco video, and he takes the time to explain what's going on and for configurations of this, that, and the other. And when I was going to school, it was really, really helpful for the labs and things like that. He didn't do the labs, but he explained and showed you what was going on, and I found it really helpful, and enough to get past the courses. So
don't get me wrong, there are video producers, creators, to use the buzzword,
there you go,
that are really excellent. I'm actually a huge fan of IBM's like Lightwall series. They do a great job of presenting like kind of introductory, high level technical concepts in a way that's really consumable. And you find those things, but by and large, I find them just like, "Hey, I'm going to show you how to do this today." Like, just type it up, man. Just type it up.
Generally, yeah.
I'm going to get through it faster. And you know what? If I need to come back to it later, I'm going to find it way easier to find your page and find the paragraph or the bullet point or whatever than I am in like your video. Cause like, I don't want to have to wait through the extra 3 seconds to minute 1 to get to minute 1 and 41 seconds, right? Like, oops, I clicked in the wrong
minute
spot.
28 of a 45-minute video because you want to go to a certain spot. Whereas in a book, you can go to where your highlighted sites.
You can skim real quick, and
well, I can search for it.
Yeah, if it's an online book.
too.
Yeah.
Right. And YouTube's doing great stuff with like targeting the specific things within a video, converting text or converting speech to text so you can find what you're looking for. I mean, at least some of that is bound to be creators doing what they need to do to bump their numbers. But all day, every day, I'll take text over video.
Yeah.
If I want to be entertained, I'll watch video.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, that's why somebody talking about something, just kind of more perspectives and opinion versus trying
Sure.
to go into technical detail or trying to explain something that's difficult to convey just in text. I mean, if you have
Sure.
a nice slide but that I would try not to keep it super dense just because it's tough to convey that in a video. But if you can do, I don't know, diagram, charts, something, use your
I mean,
hands, an
I've sat
animation.
in I've sat in on like 5 to 10-minute presentations with really dense slide decks and good engaging presenters or just good script for the presenter that I've gotten more than out of like another 3 hours of presentation combined.
3 hour, 4 hour
You could totally
seminar.
record that.
Yeah, on Microsoft file services and yeah.
Well, and if you can keep it a tight 5, maybe 10-minute video tops, all right. But when somebody wants to stretch it out just to get that second ad slot,
Right.
I can tell when it's fluff. And if you're wasting my time, I'm not going to watch your video.
Right.
Oh,
I would just rather watch something tight and good. And I'll shut up and listen then, right? Go ahead and put, 30 minutes worth of content on your slide deck. Like make me pause. Like make me pause your video so I can study your content.
So when you guys, and I understand what you guys are saying, but you guys are highly elevated in way up there in your field. And I'm not so much. And then there are junior people that they like I mentioned before, they don't want to look at the books or whatever, which I think is a mistake. But I do think that there are times when watching an instructional video or whatever is really, take Shauna, for instance. I think she could get a lot out of an instructional video because that's kind of her personality. It's where she came from, and that's how she was taught a lot in school. Whereas you guys are really close to the top, if not the top of your field, and you need that technical weeds to wade through. Whereas they probably wouldn't be able to navigate that technical weeds.
Even Shauna, give me her a whiteboard and 10 minutes, and it could probably explain anything way better than a video could.
But if you put that on a video,
make it more interactive.
I'm sure
you don't have that feedback loop. Then that
is true.
Thing, but
right, like knowing where the questions are before they get asked. Like, like there are times where face-to-face, one-on-one, or 1-on-3, or 1-on-5 are absolutely appropriate, right? Like get that feedback loop. Also, just as an aside, Brian and I being like the top of our field is a little terrifying. But hey,
why would you say that is terrifying? I actually believe that you guys are at the top of your field, right? I mean, because Brian is an outstanding firewall guy, network engineer. What's that?
I said I fake it very well.
No, I don't know about that. And Chris,
you're fake it poorly. Whatever.
You're very good at what you do. So, but you guys,
what you're saying is I'm Liam Neeson of IT.
Get way more out of that very deep, very detailed technical manual than a new person was. Because the very first time I bought DNS and Bind in the late '90s, it took me a year to read that book, right? So now I don't think it would be that big a deal, although I know most of the book. So
right, like, so the beauty of of a set of text like that is all the fluff is taken out, right? Like there's nothing helping you read that book. It's all technical. But because of that, the value that you get when you buy that book is, it's not about like, hey, I learned DNS and bind today. It's, I have a reference that I can use for the rest of my career.
Right.
Like, are you getting like full on initial DNS developer depth out of that book? No. But are you getting
But would
all
you
the way
even
up
want
to
that?
that?
Yeah.
I mean, no, you don't want that. But are you getting all of the depth that you will ever need? Yes. And that's the beauty of a book like that. And yeah, the young guys are going to encounter it and be like, oh man, I made it through 2 minutes. Yeah, but did you learn a concept you didn't know before? Guaranteed you did.
But see, I think any of them would be better off sitting down for 15 minutes, half an hour, and actually do something with DNS.
Yep.
Learn how it actually works in practice versus reading a wall after wall after wall of text that really doesn't mean anything if they don't have any practical experience.
Right. Well,
So here, though, these days that the budgets are thin and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of people, they, my guys, I keep telling them, get a cheap laptop or whatever and put, build a DNS server out of it or whatever. And again, they don't want. Why sound negative on the younger people? But they don't have the money or don't want to take the time. They want to be able to do that during their 8-hour workday. And there's, what sandbox can you play on as far as something like that goes? I mean, how many companies actually can afford to buy, that second HA pair of firewalls for a test environment, so you can learn and practice that kind of stuff, or even buy a lab unit for home. So,
I mean,
can they afford not to?
That's a good question. It's a very good question.
Like,
a lot of companies, even though they can't afford not to, they don't do it anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, and there's ones that can totally afford it that don't do either. And there's ones that can't afford it that still make it happen because they know how important it is.
Right.
I mean, there's a whole wide spectrum going on.
I mean, gone are the days where people were so hungry for work in IT where they would invest a lot of their own money, right? Like, we are a fully developed industry and trade, right?
We are
Don't
now.
ask
20 years ago, like you say, it wasn't so much, and people
Right.
would hear the ads on TV or on the radio and go to PC Pro schools, spend $3,500, and you'll be a Windows guy.
Right.
You don't hear
Well,
that
and
stuff.
you know what? And back 20 years ago, you could make a decent living and recoup your costs. That's not true today. Like, the air has been sucked out of this industry. You're not going to make a penny more than you deserve unless you're a complete and utter asshole. And those guys are going to make that money for a little while, or they're going to go into technical sales.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
See, me, I still spend money on training. I spend money on licensing. I spend money on lab gear because, I mean, this is not just my job. I mean, this is my hobby. This is what I think about when I'm trying to fall asleep. This is what I think about in the shower. This is what I think about when I'm going for a walk. But
and you know
I appreciate the fact that that is abnormal.
Right. I have wrestled with this my entire career. What value can I get from what I'm going to spend? As like a dyed-in-the-wool systems Windows guy, I can't just get a lab pair, right? I can't get one Palo Alto or one piece of Cisco gear. Like, I need the entire Windows ecosystem, and I need them to interact with each other, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I can't just do one VM. I need like 15 of them to really understand what's going on in specific places. Yeah, I can dick around with a domain controller, but you know what? I can do that in VirtualBox.
In isolation, it means nothing. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Like,
and that's why I have a vSphere, well, a VMware cluster and a bunch of
Yeah.
VMs, and
$200 per VMUG, and you're good to go.
yep.
I mean, for as long as that lasts.
Well, and then hardware.
Well,
Well, yeah, as long as that
yeah.
lasts. But I
And
mean,
then
I got the
hardware.
Palo Altos. I have the switching. I have a whole bunch of routers. I mean,
And let's be honest, like for me, you both know me, my skill set, while I am an adequate technical person, my skill set is far more about soft skills. I'm better off spending my
Oh,
time polishing and developing those. And
Mhm.
that has cost too. Believe me, my bar bill will tell you. No, but like you've got to focus your time in the places that are meaningful. And I honestly think that you need to focus your time where your strengths are. And that, I think, for the younger people in the field is an important concept. You need to figure out where your strengths are and lean into them. Yeah, go ahead and work on your weaknesses, but where you're going to make bank is where your strengths are already at.
Right.
And anybody that tells you otherwise they're wrong.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like Rick, you're fabulous at being the old guy.
Lean
I'm
into
just
it.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well,
Since Rick was 15, he's been the old guy.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's the
No.
hairline.
I'm a
Your
pretty good engineer
curiosity
too.
is
There, Chris.
intense
Go ahead and
and
say it.
impressive.
You're right there. You're stroking out.
Yeah, I asked him to tell me I was a good engineer, and this is what happened. So.
Clearly, my internet connection is not doing awesome tonight.
Oh, we're seeing you just fine.
So
yeah, we saw you just fine. Yeah.
I
Oh,
know.
the freeze on your side.
Oh yeah. So as soon as it did, I decided to make you some fun faces. Rick, you are a fabulous engineer.
I don't know.
Don't
about
let anybody
fabulous,
kid you.
but I'm worth my pay. So.
Hold on, we're having a guest on the show.
Oh, whose little voice?
Please welcome to the show.
Come on up here. You want to say hi?
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Not
that's
so much.
Moira.
You did break it.
Uh-oh.
Should I fix it? I'll have to fix it tomorrow, okay? Okay. Now go to sleep.
That's where I'm going to be shortly. Sleeping.
I have to fix this.
Oh, yeah, you just boop, push
Yeah,
them
good luck.
together and give it half a twist.
Yeah, no, I know. That is not going to be adequate.
Oh, yeah, true.
I'm going to give it the old college try, though.
Drop a little drop of super glue on it when you give it that twist.
She's amazing in particular.
Mm.
We'll wear it.
Oh, there
There
you
we
go.
go.
Break it again.
I'm good.
Oh, there you go.
Good.
You look beautiful.
Thanks.
Oh. Beautiful is not the word I'd use, but you look.
Well, you wouldn't have called yourself fabulous either, so there you go.
Probably not.
So yeah, like training's real. I want to circle back to buzzwords. Rick, you use the content creator buzzword, which is actually, to me, one of the least offensive modern buzzwords.
Actually, I think it's accurate. I think that's.
I'm a content influencer.
Fine. I mean, call them what they are, right? But like,
well, yeah, they're video.
Remember
producers.
when maker was the thing? Oh, I'm a maker. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's accurate in as far as it goes.
Yeah.
You know what? I had kids. I'm a maker too.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with a lot of buzzwords that probably a lot of people would have, but like content creator, I mean, that's kind of what this
accurate.
YouTube. It's called content. It's YouTube content. Somebody had to create it. So, or you can say it's a video producer, a YouTube producer. I mean, I don't know.
It lacks so much precision, and the fact that it's been, you know what, if it were like content creators on YouTube and TikTok and maybe Instagram, fine. The buzzword is reflective of the platform, the medium, and what they do. But now it's like, oh, I'm a content creator. Oh, you got a YouTube channel? No, I write for the New York Times. You're
No, that's a little different.
you're a
That's a
journalist
lot
or an
different. Yeah,
author, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
would call myself a journalist if I
a
was
journalist
doing
at that point. Yes.
right. But like, that's the thing about this buzzword craziness.
Hmm.
Like, people chase the buzzword, and it ends up hollowing things out. Similarly, like people calling themselves journalists who are commentators, right? Like, oh, I'm a
Oh yeah.
journalist. We're like, no,
Well, you're not
you're
going to get all
not.
Mark Belling has no business calling himself a journalist.
But he totally does.
Does he?
He calls
Oh
himself a
yeah.
commentator.
No, I mean he'll call himself a journalist at times, and there are lots of people that do at times.
Well, in
It
a way,
has a meaning.
Yeah.
if he's
Yeah,
breaking
and I
some
would.
kind of news story, then okay, then at that point you're delving into
Yeah.
journalism.
And
But
when's the
for
last
the most
time that
part,
happened?
he's not a
Yeah, it's not
journalist.
very
He's a
often.
commentator. He has an opinion on the radio, and like Rush Limbaugh was, and Alan Colmes back in the day, and all these people, and Walter Cronkite was a journalist, right? Or at least, at the very least, a newsreader.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he was the broadcasting end of a journalistic train, right?
right.
Um,
But you wouldn't
he
call
he wasn't everything. I'm totally
Walter
unsure whether
Cronkite,
you
you
can
wouldn't call
hear
him
me.
a content creator because he didn't create that concrete content. Somebody else was creating that for him. Somebody else was writing his scripts, the news that he was reading. So,
Yeah. No, I mean,
but I understand what you're saying about the buzzwords, Chris. It's because I mean, a lot of people
Yeah.
try to encompass everything they do into a small little bit of an explanation.
well, there's this new one out that rubs me the wrong way. Technologist.
Mm.
Well, that's
You know
very
what?
vague.
Right.
Extremely.
Well, so that's like in the day when I was a systems analyst at a company long time ago before TechWorks. I was a systems analyst, and a lot of people that was just the title of the day, right? They could get away with low pay, and because it was so very vague, right? But
Right. And
but
like
on the
I
other hand,
understand
it
that
was vague enough to where when I applied for a different job, they were like, "Oh, systems analyst, what was that?" And so it didn't pigeonhole you into any kind of particular field or subfield or whatever.
But
Yeah,
there
I
are
mean,
roles where that
buzz-
makes sense, like a data analyst. That can be
Right.
a very accurate description of a role. A data analyst.
It could be depending on what that person.
Depending on what it actually is. Yeah.
what do you do? Well, I analyze data.
Right. I read the newspaper and I
Okay.
tell my mom what it means. That's a data analyst.
Right. I'm a data scientist. What does that mean? Well, I do science on data.
Yeah. Not really sure what a data scientist is.
No, and like I
report
understand the
writer.
HR
There
the
you
HR
go.
buzzword bingo stuff.
Mhm.
But when the industry adopts it as like this meaningful thing, I have had people in all seriousness like, oh, the technologists on our team. Like the what? Really? What is a technologist? Well, they're people that work with technology. Like, so my
everyone.
5-year-old,
99% of the people in the company I work for.
Yeah.
right?
Or any
No,
company.
my 6-year-old is a
Really?
technologist.
Yeah.
Probably a better one than half of the people I work with. I
would
be
only use
clear, when it comes to language, I'm a stodgy, angry old man.
you like precision.
These words have meaning, and change them at your peril. I'm not saying they can't change, but you should be super duper careful about it. And then adding this new words or new meanings into the lexicon, that's dangerous. Like I know you want to like stir things up, but you know what? Invent a new word. Technologicalist. Fine. Fine. I understand that what you mean is something different than what may have been meant in the past. And then if we eventually, like over the course of 5 to 15 years, settle back on all of those being technologists, okay, fine. Mutually agreed reuse of a now obsolete word is fine with me, but like rapid evolution of really useful terms,
Into being less useful terms.
yeah, like
Yeah. Or evolving it into a term that basically means the opposite. Or just no real basis in what the term used to mean.
right, like the drag community co-opting the word fierce. Fierce in the old days meant very vaguely animalistic, dangerous, and really strong, right? Not
Grr.
exactly what the drag community is referring to, right? Like it doesn't carry the weight of life or death that fierce really should. Or did. Now fierce is just another way to describe like somebody who's got a lot of chutzpah. Why didn't they
Why not
just use
chutzpah?
chutzpah?
Yeah, bring that word back. That's an
Yeah.
awesome word.
Yiddish is fabulous. Unless we're talking about my schmeckle.
Yeah. Let's not.
I'm not sure what it is, but thank you for.
You should look up the word schmeckle.
I'll
But
show you
No,
later.
the last time somebody told me to look something up on the internet, I was sick for about 3 hours. So no, thank you, Rick. I stay away from looking that kind of stuff up. So thanks anyway.
oh, my internet connection's so bad tonight.
Yeah, it was flaking out a little bit there.
I even got red bars.
Oh, yeah.
Would you?
Oh, and you got some serious lag too.
Who do you have for an ISP, Chris?
Spectrum.
That's who I have.
Yeah, that's why
I
have
miss my
backup
AT&T
'cause-
DSL. I'm not talking like AT&T Uverse. I'm talking like AT&T old school DSL.
192K, more than enough
It was
for anyone.
slow as a snail, but
It
you
was
know
bad.
What was that one back in the olden days?
Super
The
stable.
dial-up global dialogue. Dude, I don't know. Back when the best I could do was a 56K modem.
I mean, here to be clear, I don't know what to do because now AT&T is just awful, and so like my last miles are Spectrum and AT&T, and it doesn't matter who everything else goes through, right? Like you can rebrand whatever you want. If that last mile is crap, it's crap.
Give Starlink a shot.
Yeah. How's 5G around by you?
Ich. I mean, it's okay, but it's like out here at that data rate, it's wicked expensive.
$50 a month.
$50 a month for T-Mobile for your home internet.
Now, I talked to
And-
T-Mobile about $50 a month for home internet, and because of the way home internet will work, if it is your primary connection, you will suck it dry, and then
There's no
you will be
caps.
throttled down. There's no
T-Mobile.
caps, but they will throttle you down.
Because I only use it for my backup. So I'm basically doing SD-WAN on my Palo and just flipping however it thinks is best connection, and I almost never have problems now. So
you're at
And that's kind of where I'm headed.
connection from Charter Business, right? Spectrum Business.
Spectrum Business, yeah.
And a 1 gig.
And it was always rock solid until they brought the bypass through in front of my subdivision. Now it's less than rock solid. Let's put it that way.
Wow. Because I'm considering and going back to a business connection. I don't know that I need 1 gig. I don't want to pay that $300 or $400 a month, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I am going to go ahead and get whatever 400 or 500 meg in
get the slowest business class connection you can and the fastest residential connection you can have. You'll end up paying about $200 a month, but then you can have that business connection with back IPs for all your inbound stuff, and you'll have a fast pipe for everything else.
Mhm.
and it'll cost you half as much as a middle of the road or a high end business class connection. That's probably what I'm going to do because I have the gig business plan. It's like $400 a month. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey.
Or I don't know. I don't even remember what it is now. Might drop that down, but then get one of the residential connections. Still gig because you can get that for $100.
And see
So
that $400 a month for a gig business connection, it just seems wrong.
if I was getting the service I before, I wouldn't complain about it. But now that it's flaky all the time,
Well, I've had issues with mine, the residential, where when it's up and it runs great, but I've had over the past, I don't know, 6 weeks, 3 or 4 outages. And
really,
that's unacceptable to me in my mind. When I have to, get my phone out and, make it a hotspot so I can continue to work. That's,
you should get the T-Mobile home or get the Verizon one. They have a special right now. I think it's $30 a month, but then
Don't
it'll
do it.
probably go up to something stupid. But
Also,
because I'm
Verizon,
right on
don't
the edge.
do it.
Well, I know Verizon sucks, but because
I'm
I'm
not a
right
big
on the edge
T-Mobile
of
fan either.
T-Mobile 5G coverage, so it works good enough.
Yeah.
But I had to run external. I had to crack open the case on my device and put external antenna connectors and.
Yeah, I would have to do the same thing and get them up on the roof somewhere or whatever.
I don't know.
Because I have very poor connection down here in my office, which is lower level of the house, and that's where I would put the T-Mobile modem. I'm just not a T-Mobile fan. I've had them for a few years. I don't know, 6 or 8 years, and I'm just not happy with it.
Yeah. See, I've never had a problem.
Although, it's funny because we went to 5G and Brian, going down territorial and all that kind of stuff where we'd have all those drops before, not one drop anymore. But I get between what's the name of that town? Eagle and North Prairie. There's a couple of drops in between North Prairie and Waukesha where we never had any problem before. Now I get drops.
Now you do.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're in the middle of refarming some of those towers.
They might be. And then there's a couple of spots out here on 94 between here and Watertown where I just lose it. Sean and I are both on T-Mobile, and we'll be having a conversation, and she'll go, "Well, I'm here at this place," and sure enough, boom, she goes out and has to call me back. So
you have the military discount on your plan, right?
Yeah, I'm on the military one.
Okay,
I'm on the old guy one.
Oh, is that better than the military one?
$50 a month.
AARP, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $50 a month per line, and I got 2 lines. So I think, or it's 25 for the second line. I'd have to look. It was cheap, so I got it.
Okay.
So I don't know what the military discount is, but I think it's about the same.
It's something like 30% off, and they're already one of the cheapest for the family plans. So yeah, it was a huge discount. They have a better military discount than any other provider. So
yeah, the best company I ever had as far as service and not dropping out, was U.S. Cellular. Those guys, it was I didn't matter where I went, and unfortunately, at some places I didn't want a cell signal, and it still worked. Up in Upper Michigan at my friend's cottage, where, he had.
That's where they always excelled, out in the boonies.
Yeah, because I'm like, damn it, I don't want to. And I would get called for work or whatever, and I'm up getting half hammered in the woods up in Upper Michigan. So,
you can turn those phones off, right?
Yeah, I've never been a
U.S.
smart.
Cellular. Everywhere you don't want to be.
When I went to Sturgis in 2010, I was the only one with cell signal out where we were staying. We were in a little town called Whitehorse between Sturgis and Deadwood, and I had cell signal. Nobody else did, and AT&T and Verizon and those guys. So if they would come down to a reasonable price, I'd jump on that bandwagon again. Anyway, I don't make any money for the sales of U.S. Cellular.
Yeah. You're the duvet.
Yeah. So what other buzzwords are just really stuck in your craw, Chris?
Hold on.
Do we actually have an
I have to
audience?
take advantage of the. No, I have to take advantage of my new favorite toy on Restream.
Whoa.
And there we go.
Oh, hey, I can see the scrolly dealy now.
So other buzzwords that really get to me. I really hate to hear people say agile. If it's not followed up by actual agile talk. Like, oh, well, we're an agile business. And then they go on to describe how they're not ITIL or Six Sigma, but they certainly aren't agile. Like, oh, what we do is waterfall. Yeah, no.
All those buzzwords I can live without. Six Sigma, Agile, just in time. What was it? There's a whole bunch of them.
Lean.
Lean manufacturing, yeah, all that. To me, that was all buzzwords. All buzzwords. I mean, they were real things, but it got turned into buzzwords.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Like Six Sigma, good program, right? Lean, good program.
until GE ruined it. GE used that as a method of just turning over people instead of actually trying for zero or very limited defect. They used it to run their business, and that's what I mean. They turned it into everybody has to knock 15% off their budget every year, and to do the easiest way to do that was just to lay people off. So,
right,
it's for GE. Rick's
It's not bitter or anything.
No.
You're not all about raising
here
that
you
bar.
go, Rick. Here's one for you. Wait
Where'd your
for it.
video go, or did you just turn your camera off because of the?
Probably because
Yeah, yeah.
Nice, Chris.
I mean, if it's gonna be you, me, Brian, and two other randos,
Oh, do we have
there
randos?
you go.
No, there is nobody watching this right now.
I mean,
no,
I'm
there's
showing
people on
two.
right now. Yeah.
Is there? Why do I not see
God
that?
only knows who, because I don't think I know two people besides you guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do.
I mean, Brian, you know at least two other people.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So, you're going to the ball game on Thursday, Mr. Brian?
Yes.
How about you, Mr. Chris Blackcap?
Assuming that the childcare gods align. If you know anybody who wants to watch kids, they don't need particularly good references.
I only know people my age now, and nobody my age wants to watch kids anymore.
I mean, they're 6 and 4.
Yeah.
They're wonderful. Little angels.
I've met your kids. They scare the shit out of me.
As
They're
they
a little
should.
terrifying. They'll grow up to be good adults.
I'm sure they will.
God willing,
I have
Levy.
no doubt. Right now,
I mean, they'll grow up to be good adults, or they won't grow up.
Yeah.
We all growed up.
Yeah.
More or less. Still don't
We
know
all
what
got older,
I
how's
want
that?
to be when I grow up.
You haven't figured it out yet?
Having a clue.
I know what I want to be when I grow up.
What's that?
Brian. I want to be
Brian
Brian.
is kind of a role model.
For who?
A single white female in it.
Oh boy.
This is precisely why your kids terrify me.
The
Because
best
he'll
part
say
is you
something like that
cannot
and they'll execute. Like, all right.
Excuse me.
my 4-year-old daughter wearing Palo Alto shirts, going to vendor events. I'm Brian Vukic. Who's gonna tell her no? She's at
Absolutely
the
no one.
right. If they did, she's at the exact perfect height to like headbutt your crotch.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Not
And then she
awkward
gets
for her.
older,
Super awkward for you.
and she'll only get more dangerous as she grows up.
Yes.
That's the terrifying thing.
Yes. Uh,
Yep.
sometimes when you have kids, you just go, "What have I done?"
I think you're doing an outstanding job because
Oh,
know
yeah.
there's a little girl that takes no shit from anybody. She's a lot like her mom. So, yep.
Yeah. No,
She's
I'm
What's that?
impressed with them I'm impressed with them every day, but still.
That's one of the cool things about being a parent is that if you let them, your kids will impress you daily.
Absolutely.
Less than
Speaking of
mine.
parenting, how was your not holiday yesterday?
Yes.
Who? Oh,
Both of you. Because let's face it, Father's Day is not a real holiday.
No.
No.
And my kids agree.
Right. Something like
They didn't even
I
know it
saw a
happened.
comedian. Granted,
you
comedians
heard
can't
nothing
trust
from
them
your
any more
kids
than you can
yesterday?
trust.
Yeah, that's too bad. I didn't call my dad, and I probably should have, but
Celebrated holiday.
he doesn't call me for Christmas or birthdays or anything like that. So yeah, so there's that. But Shauna did. She actually they actually came over for a little bit yesterday, which was kind of nice. She got me a card, which was lovely. But I didn't get to do what I wanted to do yesterday, so
Nap.
Was that sleep?
I wanted to sleep until very late. And then I got told we're supposed to go over so and so's house. We're going to be late, so I had to drag my butt out of bed. And then plans changed, and so we did some more work out in the backyard. We're putting in a patio back there. So
I saw that. I also saw that you didn't call me. So, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I'm a little offended.
Yeah.
I
Thank
tell
you,
you what,
but you did it all
when it's
wrong.
time to go do the sod,
It's not the sod that I'm good at. Like sod,
Yeah.
it's grass, it grows. Just
It's
don't get the
easy.
dirt too shallow.
yeah, well, I have to bring in some topsoil for that and whatever. What we actually rented that little mini excavator and
Yep.
down there between the
Those are
houses.
pretty sweet.
It was pretty fun to drive. But Brendan did most of it. That's what he does. I mean, he's good at it. So, and he leveled off and kind of did like this French drain kind of thing down between the two houses, so the water quits. It doesn't pool up at my back door anymore, which is kind of nice.
Oh.
Yep.
And we dug out. We used that to dig out all those old patio pavers back there, and we dug a big hole in the backyard and buried all those old pavers in. He leveled off the backyard again, and I'm going to bring in a couple of inches of topsoil and get that spread out back there, and then roll the sod out. By then he'll be done with the patio.
How
He
deep
said
did
he
he
would just
go?
take care of the patio for me. So what's that, Chris?
How deep did he go on the patio?
We went down to where it was before, and it had actually had the pavers and everything that were there originally had sunk over time. So we just dug everything up, and I bought new paver base. So between the paver base and the leveling sand, there's probably 4 inches.
Yep. I mean, that's standard. It'll be fine for like 5 to 10 years.
That's longer than I'll be.
Chris just volunteered to come and redo it the correct way when
No, I did not
The
volunteer.
correct way.
Though
I was actually
though-
told that this was about the right depth was 4 inches.
Yes, that is what they will always tell you because they want
Yep.
to sell you more aggregate and more services. If you want to know what the right depth is, imagine that you know a reincarnated Roman road builder, because you might, and think about how deep they would go.
They would probably go a foot, foot and a half.
Yep.
No, I think
And
it
it
was
would
more
be-
like 4 feet.
I mean, it depends on what you're going to do with it and how large it is. And
Yeah.
I don't think I could go down 4 feet. I don't think I could go down 2 feet.
No, that's way overkill.
With the
Yeah.
well, then there's so many rocks and everything. When they built the house next door, they excavated that and piled it up here and there. And instead of hauling all the rock and all the bullshit out, they just spread it out, and most of it wound up in my backyard. So because of the
Right.
rain, it would just erode everything into my backyard. So I
You get
finally
a
we got that
vibratory
channel.
compactor.
What's that?
Do you get a vibratory compactor?
We will when we finish laying the pavers out. That's not
Oh,
done.
so you haven't laid the pavers yet. Okay, yeah.
No, we've got one row of pavers in. He came by yesterday to show me how it was done and everything, and said if I want to try to do any more, no. I have to go get a saw because I need to cut some of the pavers in half. I've got the 12 by 12 squares, and I need to cut a few in half so I can stagger.
yep.
So it doesn't look silly. So I got to do that,
Yeah.
and then but
Are
he
those
said if plans don't change, he's going to come over this weekend, and he says he'll have 90% of it done by the time we get back from up north. So
No, it goes quick when you start working on it. Like when you're to the paver layer, it goes super quick.
well, when you get away from the edge, because we had to do the 3 foot or the 3-inch by 6-inch paver blocks, bricks actually, so they're thicker than the 12 by 12 pavers that I got. So we had to go down a little bit deeper, but he did that row and then the first row. And once he got to the thinner pavers, the actual 12 by 12, it just went quick. And yeah, that kid's good at it. So it didn't take him any
Good.
time. So
It's good stuff.
he's a good lad. Don't tell him I said.
He is.
Do
He wants
not
to
tell
be.
him I said that.
He is now.
Yes, he's
go
got
with
a
that.
nice big brown ring running around his neck.
Brown ring.
He pulled his head out of his ass. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got
Chris got it. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Brian doesn't have daughters.
I'm oblivious.
That was
Yeah.
something I heard in the military in basic training. The drill instructor was like, I don't want to see anything but a bunch of brown rings. And we were like, what the fuck? What? And he says, pull your head out of your ass. So, yeah, that's where I learned it. I guess they didn't have that in the Marines when you guys were there. You just,
No. You were expected to sort that out before you showed up.
Probably. Wow.
It's one of my favorite things. Services throwing shade at each other.
Yeah. No one else is allowed
I didn't
to.
serve, so I can't participate.
Nope. Because then we both gang up on you.
Right. Like,
We would.
what the fuck
Oh,
do you
that's
know,
like
Civvy?
a former coworker of ours used to call me, well, you weren't in the military. You were in the chair force.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would grind me up. I'd have to walk away. So,
At that
and I
point,
get it.
Rick
It's
goes
okay if
all,
Brian says I was in the chair force, but it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Rick
It's
would
like
get all,
siblings. You can fight with your siblings, but if somebody else starts shit with them,
yeah,
it's
nobody
kind of, you're
beats up on
bound
my
to
brother
defend
but me.
That's
them.
right.
Exactly.
That's
You're not even doing it right.
Right. Let me show you how this is done on your face.
Yes.
No, yeah. Rick, for a second, I thought you were going to get the Peter Griffin. You know what really grinds my gears?
He's grinding my gears. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh gosh. What the hell was that song? 6 hours of Peter Griffin just looped doing some song from the 60s.
Oh, jeez. It was some. Oh.
Or was it Axel F from You know, that Axel F from Beverly Hills
yeah,
Cop.
Eddie Murphy, yeah, Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah,
Hey.
I think it was 6 hours of him doing that.
So you remember?
And another.
So you remember that PPAP song from like 10 years ago? Pen, pineapple, apple pen.
Oh yeah.
There's a mashup of PPAP and Axel F,
Oh.
which
Never heard
my
it.
son fell in love with. And I fully applaud because it's pretty good.
PPAP. I've never actually heard of that.
You got to look that up right now. Let's have a Rick Reacts video right here.
Well, the only reason I'm doing it is because you said your son has seen it.
It's not like something that will scar you. You're just going to be kind of weirded out.
Right. It's a little weird.
It's creepy, but it's not like disgusting or anything.
So fs.com is doing sponsored ads now on YouTube.
Oh, really?
I kind of like
They're
that.
doing
man.
our channel?
Yeah,
Not yet.
what the
We should ask him.
Yeah.
We could let him sponsor the whole show. Here we go.
Is this the right video?
Yep.
No, it's the right
100%.
video.
I have an apple.
You froze for your first reaction face, and I got such a great chuckle.
Pineapple man. Apple man. Pineapple man. Apple man.
Okay, I'm done with that. Thank you so much.
No, you got to keep going.
No,
It's so
stupid as you
good.
expected. No, I mean,
it's every bit as stupid as I thought it was going to be. Yes.
That dude has an entire album,
Really?
oh, really?
and that is not the weirdest thing on there.
That's impressive.
I am a sushi. I am a sushi is fabulous.
God,
I believe the lyrics go, "Can you see? I am a sushi," and that is it.
that is art.
It just,
That is art right there.
yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, PPAP mashed up with Axel F worked shockingly well.
Wow.
I'll take your word for it.
We need to go out, have a few cocktails at our favorite watering hole, and ask them to put
Put it
that
on
on
the jukebox.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
See how many people we can run out of the place.
If that doesn't work,
All of them.
Everyone.
we'll play a little
No,
Prince.
I'm pretty sure Joe tried
Mika.
that, and that didn't really work.
Joe's no good at running people out of watering holes. I'm really good. You mix in Prince and Mika, a couple of show tunes, and like when you've got all the people that are offended by that have left, then you mix in some, any rap from the mid 90s.
Get some size.
all
Risque.
gone.
Can I smell your blank?
That
That was,
she sang that
was always-
so soulfully and so serious.
Oh, yeah,
and
she
God,
felt it in
oh
her.
my-
Yeah, she.
Oh my God. I played that for Jenny, and she didn't talk to me for 3 days. She was angry with me.
That's it.
How could you play that?
Really?
You know who Nick Offerman is?
Who?
Nick Offerman.
No. I know the
Uh,
name.
Where are the names?
What about what? So Nick Offerman was one of the guys on Parks and Rec. Ron Swanson was his character.
Okay.
But he's married to Megan Mullally, who was the
Will and Grace.
Will and Grace, right?
Yeah, she was the what do they call that?
Yeah.
I hate- fag hag. is one word.
Yeah. She
Um,
was one of the people that hung out. And so Megan Mullally had a comedy show that she would run on the road. And she would sing "Can I Smell Your..."
really?
Yeah. And it was hilarious.
All right.
All right. Let me gonna see if that's on YouTube.
I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
that it is.
Well, I
Um,
know the original is.
But seriously, the best is the two of them, Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally, on stage together. Because
Ooh, a
two
duet
people
of
that are more into each other, I have never seen. And they live in Hollywood, so what? Like, that's pretty impressive.
Oh.
Can I smell your feet? What the fuck?
No.
Good times.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what else? I totally had a thing I was going to say, and I do not remember. So instead, I'm going to ask, what's everybody drinking?
Coffee.
I think it's Wee Beastie. I totally forgot.
Aren't you too old to be drinking coffee this late?
No.
Yeah, it's Wee Beastie. I can drink a triple espresso and pass the fuck out.
Yeah, I'll have no issue falling asleep tonight. Staying
Yeah,
asleep, on
but
the other
that's
hand,
you.
is a thing. I typically wake up
Right.
at anywhere from 3:30 to 5:30, depending on how much I've got going on.
Me too. Sometimes because my children have woken me up, but you know, what are you going to do?
Well, here lately, work has just been
Oh.
ridiculous.
Bex, I haven't had one of those in
Well, those are tasty.
can't remember the last time.
They do the job.
Well, I don't see the Megan Mullally. There's a lot of covers of that song.
Yeah.
But
Let me see what I can do for you, Rick.
because I like Megan Mullally, I think she's kind of funny.
She is.
She was actually on Parks and Rec.
Yes. As one of Nick Offerman's wives.
That's awesome.
Sending it to you in just a minute.
Alrighty.
Assuming my interwebs behave. Do, 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 do.
Here comes my lovely wife. Say hi to
Hello,
Brian.
lovely wife.
Hello, Brian and Chris. I need you to zip me.
Oh,
Ooh.
Hey.
If he won't, I will.
she said zip, not unzip.
I need
Yeah,
to
whatever.
The same deal.
There you go.
Okay, what do you think?
Talk about
She's your
mixed
wife,
messaging.
Rick.
Pretty dress.
Do you like this?
I sure do.
What do you think of Viola
I think that would be great.
for 50th anniversary?
Absolutely.
Is that too punchy?
It does bunch up a little bit right here. Right across here.
That's the honesty of marriage right there.
Figure out how to do this, but I could probably,
Yeah, that can help you
I
get
think
out of it
with the-
here a little bit.
I think with the ruching on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I could even do that silly Mel's bag, that gold bag, it's got a lion with green eyes on it.
Mm-hmm. That would be, yeah, we're ready to go.
So yeah, I think this will be Viola.
Cool.
It's hot AF, but
It is. You're hot AF. I like my wife.
She's your better 3/4.
Thank you for that. Mhm.
It's my new toy, so now you gotta watch it.
Oh boy.
Typos and all.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll watch that later. Uncrate?
I mean, don't question the Google.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned never to question. Do not question.
I mean, the second level result was from HuffPost, so you're welcome.
Okay.
The one you sent won't even play. At least not for me.
Mm-mm. Let me see what I can do here.
Yeah, you try and click on it, and it wants you to like subscribe to their channel, but it doesn't like take you to the video. It takes you to the subscription link for their channel.
Those jerks.
Yep, they screwed you.
I mean,
But the title is probably
they
accurate.
didn't even ask.
Bastards.
Just the fact that it's not coming up on Facebook is, or I mean on YouTube is.
See what I can do here.
Video unavailable.
That's not going to be right. I have Johnny Weir skates to smell yo. Maybe I might have it. Hold on.
Oh wow! Even the original is taken down.
Really? Because I saw it.
Oh, it was probably somebody else that posted it, but the actual one from Risque is
Oh, yeah?
gone.
That's too funny.
This video is
My-
unavailable.
Must have been too offensive.
Banhammer.
We do live in a world that's overly sensitive about being offensive.
Ignore the fact that I'm not paying any attention to you right now.
I sent you guys a picture in Talkaholics. I find very entertaining.
Oh, jeez. So, one of the things, so there's a comment. Most people don't know that the song Smell Yo was actually written by Rodgers and Hammerstein for the wedding scene in The Sound of Music, but it was cut because of time constraints.
That's perfect.
Oh, comments are amazing.
You ever just wander through Amazon and just read random reviews about stuff?
Oh, occasionally there'll be a sequence of comments on a particular item that are hilarious, but beyond that, they're usually dumb. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, God.
there are things where somebody will post something, just put something funny, and then people just run with it.
Good. Do the Haribo
Haribo.
Haribo sugar-free gummies.
Oh God, those things are brutal.
Listen to you be from the upper Midwest. Ready, Rick? Haribo.
Okay, Haribo, whatever. Yeah, those that God, I died laughing. I cried. I was laughing so hard at some of those. I think Stephanie was the one that told me about that.
Okay.
Just too funny. Too damn funny. Speaking of Stephanie, I haven't talked to her in forever. I think maybe it's time for we schedule up a Friday, lunchtime.
Oh, we haven't done that in
Probably over a year. Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah.
I
I
like
even
how
sent.
we evolved into not talking anything technology now. We're just
I mean, we made it sort of to like the 45-minute mark.
kind of.
Oh, we've
It's
lost
just,
all of our viewers though.
yeah, we had 2 for a bit. They bailed on us.
Let's pull up the YouTube studio and see what the stats were when they bailed on us.
35-second mark.
Oh, it wants me to verify I'm me.
I can vouch for you, Chris.
I
Yeah.
know. Are you listening, YouTube?
I don't think that works for YouTube.
Okay, where is it?
Analytics. Yeah, I just see 2 spikes of 2 people.
When did they drop off?
Well, you don't get super granular information.
Screw you, YouTube.
Damn it.
We'll get better information later.
We will.
There it is.
So,
Best dollar store.
I had a
purchase
fun
ever.
occurrence
Hmm.
today. I got an update from Microsoft Teams.
Okay.
I was unhappy
Which
Yeah.
update was this?
because the one where all of the ability for Teams to do its effing job went away. Like, I can search for things that I know exist, but I can't pick chat, calendar, or any of the useful things that Teams on my phone can do.
Yeah, that search got worked up about a month and a half, maybe 6-8 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, something like that, where search turned into it just doesn't function like it should anymore. I can't search for anything in Teams anymore. It's
They
frustrating.
must have stopped paying Microsoft. Or sorry, Google. Because nobody does search like Google does.
Google is a search engine, so yeah, I would imagine that they're pretty damn good at it.
You would think that they would be. You would also think that other people in the industry would accept that they're good at it.
And yet
But they
Bing
don't.
still exists.
Oh my lord.
Because it's not.
I like that Bing gives you credits for using their search.
Do they? I've probably done 5 searches through Bing, and every one of them sucked. It was nope. Sorry,
Well-
I need a result that actually helps me.
There's a reason that they're giving you credits.
Yeah.
That's
They're
awesome.
so bad at it. They're so bad at so many things, and they keep trying. You know what they're good at? Trying.
They sometimes try too hard at something they have no chance at,
You mean like networking?
or a browser that doesn't suck. I mean, they finally just decided, oh, we're just going to take Chromium and skin it to IE and call it a day.
Call it.
They
Edge.
should have done that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Would have saved themselves a lot of effort. Or just said, we're fine with not owning a fucking browser. Who cares?
Yeah, they went to court in Europe for their browser.
Oh yeah, it
15
cost them a
years
lot of
ago.
money. Yep.
Hey, fun story. We don't have enough viewership to give us gender information. So viewers, we need more of you. So
He
we
said
can find out
absolutely
if
no
more of you are female, male, or user specified. Literally, those are the categories that YouTube
Alright.
provides. Specifically, we need more user-specified viewers.
Yeah, you need enough. You have to have enough where they can anonymize it enough.
We have geography.
Oh, does that show up now?
Um,
Oh no.
we get one
I
line.
mean, not in this video. We probably have other ones.
Let's see here. Traffic sources. This is fun.
Oh.
Okay. Hey, most of our traffic is clearly from Restream. Yeah, I'm down with this stats. And now we're back to tech as Brian and I learn more about the platform that we've chosen to stream on.
We have come full circle.
Yeah.
And then some.
Hey, we got one view.
That's not
Search.
accurate. That count is not, because we had up to 2 people watching at the same time earlier.
Well, one of them
No.
was me.
No, I'm talking about
phone.
YouTube search. YouTube search has generated one viewer for us.
Okay. On this particular video,
since I'm
I would
assuming
look
the
at
stats.
if you just want to look at stats, I would probably look at like all videos. So the channel for the last like 28 days or something. Otherwise, there's not going to be very much interesting to look at.
Lifetime. My stream is so angry right now.
I believe
But
it.
I looked at the lifetime stats, for the entire lifetime of our channel.
It's only December?
It counts it as October 12th. Granted, there is no view statistics
Going back that far?
until December 18th.
Did we do our
We did.
test video on the 12th or in October?
Yeah, or something like that.
Really? No, we must have. Or maybe that's when I created the channel or something.
Someday someone will hack us and release it. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Oh, you know you're somebody when your YouTube channel gets hacked.
Well, everything's all 2-factor and dongled.
Or you get
Yeah.
swatted. That'd be great.
Oh, Jesus.
God, that's petrifying. Can you imagine? People have died from that shit happening. That's just silly.
Uh-huh.
And it's happened
It
here
is.
in Waukesha.
Yep.
Right? Weren't you watching something like that just a week or two ago, Brian?
Yeah. Yeah, and we quick flipped on the scanner and we could hear it happening while we were watching it happen on YouTube. It was kind of surreal.
Yeah. Because I don't remember where I was or what. I was like, how are they watching this? And I wasn't in a position where I could ask you where where to go and whatever. So that would have been interesting.
It's in Sussex. Feel free to drive over and observe the Sussex law enforcement officers do their job from a respectful and safe distance.
Well, and
That
Sussex
is
doesn't
so-
have
such
law
a-
enforcement
such a
officers anymore.
Subjective thing, depending on what cop you're talking to. A safe distance could be 4 miles down the road. Or
Well,
it's
40 feet.
Waukesha. And this particular
If-
YouTuber, now he know the police department knows and the fire department knows and the ambulance services know. Call before you bother coming because it's probably fake.
Yeah.
If it's like any other community in Waukesha County, do you know who they contract with for SWAT services?
Nope.
Menominee Falls.
Is it?
I thought
That's right.
Waukesha had their own tactical unit. I thought they had their own unit.
They do. But if they need backup, they contract Menominee Falls. Do you know who Milwaukee contracts for backup? Menominee Falls.
I'm going to say Menominee Falls.
Right. Brookfield doesn't have one. They contract with Milwaukee and Menominee Falls because there is no need for a tactical unit in Menominee
No, it really
Falls.
isn't. But you're paying for one.
Yeah. You know what's fun though? The police department pays for our library.
No, is it a net gain?
So
Yeah,
In
profit
Menominee
center.
Falls,
Don't drive in Menominee Falls ever.
Yeah,
don't drive illegally or
Yeah.
while brown in Menominee Falls.
Wow.
don't go 1 mile over the speed limit in Lannon.
I mean, that is just look, you got to pay for your municipal fees somehow. And Lannon has decided that people from outside the community can do it for them through tickets.
Not the one from what's her name?
Yeah. It's taken in.
No, seriously, Menominee Falls for years and years and years has had a tactical unit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Some parts of it's taken in.
It's fine,
Otherwise, I'd wear this for Northern.
but when the
Little
when the
bit.
police department wanted a bigger
I do on the side.
facility, the old Menominee Falls library was in the way.
Taken in.
So they said,
Okay.
well, we could just build them a new building. So they did.
All right.
It's a beautiful building. So, like,
Way
way to go, taxpayers of Menominee Falls.
Good or do we?
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Menominee Falls has been renting out.
That is.
But see, what'll be fun is that you can like that, and then
Lost you, Chris.
you can do.
Lannon, Brookfield, a little bit of Milwaukee, all contracted with Menominee Falls to plow in heavy snow. It's crazy.
Oh, somebody you love and admire is moving to Waukesha.
Fuck. Who?
Oh yeah.
I already live in Waukesha.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, but do you live in the real Waukesha?
I drive by your house as often.
And you just write poetry outside his door.
Yes, I just
I don't know Waukesha.
longingly at the house.
You meow
This is-
like a cat. And
this is-
Stands out in the front yard with his boombox.
What was that? Say Anything? Was that the movie?
I think so.
That's awesome.
I can't remember the song now,
I don't remember it either. I just remember what's
but
his
I
name.
know
need a
the
prop,
scene.
That's what I need. Pretend this is a boombox.
Yep.
Who was that? That was God, what was that dude's name? Never mind. It's useless information.
Yeah.
I got a person that'll tell me, assuming she's paying attention, in like John Cusack. I didn't even need to ask her.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Question is, who was the girl?
Who
Didn't
knows?
say anything. God, that was so long ago.
Not famous enough to remember.
Super famous, actually. It's on the tip of my tongue.
That's gross, Chris.
I mean, only if I'm lucky.
What the hell? Why won't my phone not do this? Stupid
Oh,
phone.
she's not paying attention to me.
See? She's moving in.
Why do you do that to me?
I didn't do it.
What the hell?
I'm going to the interwebs.
I'm trying to, but Chrome doesn't seem to want to do searches today.
I'm looking on IMDb, and besides John Cusack, I don't see any names I really recognize. At least not as like a. Yeah.
Let's see here. The writer and director was Cameron
Ione
Crowe. That's a
Skye.
big name.
Yeah, but as far as the chick, Ione Skye.
Yeah, I think that's
Ione?
who that was.
Ione?
Yep, that's her. Oh, her
I
dad was totally a criminal.
wouldn't have guessed that in a million years.
No, I wouldn't have either.
She looked like people.
Who the hell is she?
Well, that era it would have been. Well, she's cheaper than Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, because she was the girl de jour back then.
Yeah,
And
that
time. Yeah.
What was that, like 89? I already closed IMDb. I think it was 89 though.
Let me look. Say anything. Yeah, 1989. You're right.
Wow.
I don't know that. I just happened to see that.
Yeah.
And just like that,
sucked.
my magical human IMDb says Ione Skye.
Geez, how does she
hold
know
on.
these things?
Yeah, there he is standing there with this.
Elizabeth Shue's still looking pretty good.
She's had the right kind of work done.
Yeah.
She had work done?
Does she live in Hollywood? The answer is yes.
She sure as hell doesn't look 58.
Really? She's still a pretty girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
good for her.
It's not like
I wouldn't
some
kick
of them
her out
have,
of bed for eating crackers.
like whatever happened to
Not even Triscuits.
what the hell's the girl's name? Curly blonde haired girl. When Harry Met Sally.
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan.
She has had the wrong kind of work done.
They ruined her. Unfortunately.
Apparently, Ione Skye has not been in really anything else that mattered.
That mattered. She's been in all kinds of stuff. Like as I was reading her IMDb, and she's done stuff this year and in 2020 and whatever, but I didn't see what it was.
I mean, she's probably being selective about the parts she takes, or that's what she tells herself.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other pressing issues for court tonight?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Kinda
I'd
what I
like to
was getting
petition the court to adjourn.
Yeah, I have firewall work to do still.
You just gonna say that without asking for the floor first?
Nope. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to do that.
Not that I have any knowledge of Robert's Rules of Order.
I was petitioning the court, not Robert's Rules of Order. Robert's Rules of Order would have been making a motion.
Well, yeah, okay.
Don't ask me why I know these things.
Yeah, Robert's Rules. I've got a couple of books on that. Point of order, sir. Point of order.
Why? Why would you have books on that? Because
I've been the leader of certain organizations that really insisted that we follow Robert's Rules.
I mean, certain organizations.
Volunteers. It's almost always, volunteers. Well, we should follow Robert's Rules and whatever. For a couple of clubs that I was.
I mean,
whatever, but
in the absence of other rules, they're good. But no.
I loosely followed them when I wrote the bylaws for the ham radio club that I was in and all that. I kind of used some of their stuff as a guide.
okay.
But, it's just,
I've been loose when I followed things before. It's fine.
I know you're loose. Yes.
All right. Well, we've been off the rails for 3/4
For
of
a
our
while.
show. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
This happens
Brian,
every
take us
time I
out.
join these chats. So I'm
Yeah.
going to say to all our non-existent viewers that I am very, very sorry. And come back and see us again, please. Or come back
I would
and not.
also like to apologize for Rick and thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, smash that like button,
Smash
or
that
whatever the
like
hell you're.
button.
Sure.
Ring the bell.
Yeah,
I'm just
ring
going to
that bell.
apologize for myself.
Okay, and you're going to apologize for me after seeing what he's doing.
Of course.
And there we go.
All right.
Thanks for showing up.
everyone. Yep.
That's insane.
Talk to you guys next week or sometime before or after that.
Definitely before. Definitely
or
before.
after.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for that. Appreciate